Hi there, I'm Donna from That Simple Life. Welcome to my channel. I would love to have you as one of my new subscribers. So please click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you will be notified every time I make a new video. Today I have 3 projects for you that will save you money, time, and space. So let's get started with the project that will save you space. We moved here from Chicago 12 years ago now, and it was a much smaller house that we moved to here in southern Indiana. Our children were mostly grown and gone, and we went with a smaller home, a shorter loan, so that we could be financially independent sooner. Therefore, we had too much stuff, and through many garage sales and much purging, we are now more comfortable in our smaller home. Now, we still watch DVDs and like to keep probably 100 of them here in our home. Yes, we have a streaming service, but some of those shows that we have on DVD are not available through streaming, and we just kind of like to watch them once a year. So instead of keeping a piece of furniture with all of those DVDs in it, we decided to take most of them out of their cases and put them in an album. Now, we kept a few cases that were special, like a special edition DVD, but most of them we really don't need the cases, and putting them in an album like this saves so much space. These DVDs took up a whole small bookcase before, and now they are all in this album and so easy to find. So we like a lot of musicals, so there's The Music Man. We have some Disney in here. Of course, I love all of my period drama DVDs and try to watch them every year or two. And so at least 100, if not 120, fit in this, and it's just really easy to flip through and find the one that we want to watch. All right, that will save you space. Now, how about a recipe that is delicious and only took me about 4 minutes to make? And quite frankly, if I hadn't been talking to you, it probably would have only taken me 3. That's for pickled red onions coming up next. And then after that, I have a quick little project that will help you start some seedlings. It'll only take you about 5 minutes to make this project, and it will save you money. So join me in my kitchen now for a little cooking and a little gardening. All right, let's get busy in the kitchen and make some pickled red onions. I'm gonna watch the clock here and see how long it takes so I can tell you. All right, so the recipe comes from livelytable.com, pickled red onions. I will post this recipe in the description box below. And these are the ingredients we need. We need 1 cup of boiling water, so I've already done that in the microwave. We need some vinegar. Now the recipe calls for cider vinegar, apple cider vinegar, and white. I just have white, that's what I'm using. They turn out great. You can add a little salt if you like, that's optional, and also just a little bit of sugar, and that's also optional. And then you need a half of a red onion. So I've already peeled a red onion and I've got it cut in half. The first thing I'm going to do is take a pint jar, which is clean, and I'm going to cut my onion in half this way, and then in thin slices. So I try to make them less than 1/4 inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch if I can. Just however thin you think you would like these. Whoops, on the floor. That's real life here. All right, almost done. And then you take your red onions and just lay them in the jar. You don't even have to separate them. You can separate them as you use them with a spoon, stirring them up. But for now, I'm just putting them in the jar. All right. Step 1 complete. Next, I'm going to take my boiling water. So you want 2 parts water and 1 part vinegar. So since I have 1 cup of freshly boiled water, I'm going to add a half a cup of vinegar. All right. It calls for a little salt and sugar. I don't measure, I just say there's some salt And there's a little sugar. And I call that good. So next, stir that together so you can get the salt and sugar to dissolve. Looks good to me. And now you're just going to pour it in your jar of red onion slices. It's hot, so be very careful. And I don't quite have room for all of it. So sometimes when I'm really wanting to cut corners, I do my water in here, boil it in the microwave, then I add my vinegar, and then I just put in however many onions will fit. So I don't even need the measuring cup. Looks like I've got room for a little bit more. And just kind of push the onions down in there. And friends, by tomorrow, this water will be pinkish purple. These onions will be delicious. They'll still be crunchy, but they'll be pickled and ready for your sandwich, your salad, whatever sounds good to you. Enjoy! And by the way, it took me about 4 minutes. All right, our next project is to do a little gardening right here in the kitchen to get some seeds started for this summer. So we're going to take something from your recycle box and turn it into a little greenhouse. This is a strawberry container that we just used up, and I decided to put a paper towel in the bottom because it has holes in the bottom and on the sides, so I did a little tape on the sides so that my dirt wouldn't fall out here in the kitchen. But the paper towel, the water will drain through, but it'll keep the dirt from spilling here in my kitchen. So I have in this container just a couple of inches of potting mix. Now, if you have seed starter mix, that might be even better, but this is what I have, and I'm a big fan of just using what you have. So I've got a couple of inches of good dirt in here, and I have some basil seeds. I'm really itching to get some basil going. I love pesto, and so I'm just going to take a few of these in my hand. They're very tiny, and you know, maybe there are 10 here in my hand, and it says to plant them 1/4 of an inch deep. Now, because they're so tiny, I'm just going to sprinkle them, try to place them nicely around my dirt. I'm just gonna sprinkle them in. If they were a larger seed, like a zinnia flower seed, I could really, you know, plant them the way that the package says. I've done sunflower seeds this way. I've done all kinds of flowers. You can do tomato seeds this way just to get them started. So now they are in, and did you know that one of my favorite gardening tools is an old spoon? They work great for working in little areas. So I'm just gonna take my spoon and just kind of stir up the dirt a little bit, just the top 1/4 inch, so that maybe those seeds get down in there a bit. Then I'll take my spoon and just tap this down lightly. So hopefully the seeds are under the dirt now. And to water it, I'm just gonna take a spray bottle and mist it. Because if I poured water in here, the seeds would get disrupted from where they are and it would make kind of a mess. So they have been misted with water. I can close this now. And my tiny little greenhouse is ready to sit outside. You can put this outside. It's got holes in the top for ventilation and for moisture to be able to get in, but the plastic is going to help protect these. And then when the weather warms up and is consistently warm, my basil seeds should start coming up. And once they get to be, you know, a couple of inches tall, then I'll again use my old spoon to gently dig it out and plant these where I want them in my herb garden or in a container. So this is just a quick and easy way to get a little bit of gardening started without spending a dime. I've also done quite a few of these in a milk jug. So you just wash out your milk jug and cut it all around, except leave a little hinge here by the handle. And so now you've got this wonderful little greenhouse. You can even start these in February if you want to and leave them out on your patio. Now they do need drainage holes, and the way that I have found that works the best is to take a large nail or an old screwdriver like a Phillips head that you don't care about, or an awl works perfectly. And you get the end of it hot. So I have a candle here, and it will turn the metal black. So you don't want to use your husband's new screwdriver. And you just get the end of that hot, and then carefully poke it into the bottom of the milk jug and poke a hole through. So I have 2 holes here so far, but if I was going to use this, I would probably put at least 5, and an awl will make a larger hole than this nail did, but this will be sufficient. So then I would put in several inches of dirt. I would plant whatever seeds in there I wanted to, and then mist them or sprinkle water over them with your hands. And then you can actually take a piece of packing tape and just tape this shut here in the middle so that the wind isn't going to catch it, and open it up. Leave the lid off so that the snow, the rain can get in, and put this in the sun. And when the weather is right, these seeds will start to sprout, and before you know it, you'll have little seedlings for cheap, ready to go in your flower bed or your garden. Happy gardening. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today for some simple living tips. I'll be coming to you every Thursday with another video. It might include recipes, crafts, simplifying projects for your home, and it will save you money, time, and work. So join me next week. I would really appreciate a thumbs up to help get my little channel going, and I would really love your comments. What simple projects have you been working on this week? What ways have you simplified your home recently? And are you going to make the pickled red onions? Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention. With all the problems in the Ukraine and in Russia, I read in the news that 25% of our wheat comes from those countries. And so products like bread and cereal are going to be rising in price. So next week, join me as I teach you how to make skillet granola. It's delicious, it's so quick and easy, and it's a homemade cereal that you will love. All right, see you next week. Have a great day. Goodbye.